delegates of members of the International Science Council to its 8th formal annual meeting. The International Science Council, ISC in abbreviation, is a global and apparently the most influential science organization in the world. It brings together not only national academies of sciences, focusing either on natural sciences or on social sciences and the humanities, but also many other strong players in the research and innovation landscape. These are, for example, research funding organizations, research councils, different scientific umbrella organizations such as international scientific unions, also organizations of young scientists and observer organizations. The main aim of the International Science Council is to express and amplify the voice of scientists, and not only because it is voice of scientists, but in matters concerning global public well-being. And supported by its members and numerous international partner organizations, the International Science Council takes part in shaping international research policy and, of course, promotes the provision of science advice and knowledge-based policymaking. But much of its strength lies in bringing together very different voices representing science. As a worldwide organization, it's natural that ICS has several regional focal points. They are very active in Asia and the Pacific, and also in Latin America and the Caribbean, and also in Europe, which is us here. And similar focal points are now in progress in Africa and Middle East. The foci of European members, they naturally change over time. One intrinsic and I would say endless task for European members is to represent the interests of European research institutions and scientists in the global ISC organization. It is not only to draw attention to the viewpoints and needs of European scientists, much more importantly, our mission is to transfer excellent solutions that have worked in Europe to other regions. And also a thing which is not much talked in public, to warn other regions about traps and failures in our way. The second umbrella topic for the European members has been, and currently is, the promotion of science advice and much wanted knowledge-based policymaking in Europe. And the goal is to make one step further from simply providing advice, what we do anyway, a step towards developing and shaping the structures that are necessary to properly generate and channel the advice. The third priority area has been development of science diplomacy and international research cooperation. We do that mainly by suggesting new solutions and methods rather than distributing funds for cooperation. And on top of that, we explore hot topics of general interest and with potentially large impact in our opinion pieces and to a large extent in discussions at the annual meeting. Last year in Stockholm, we tackled three main topics: artificial intelligence, science advice in Europe, and the initiative Reclaiming Europe, driven by young academies. And several European members of ICS were the first signatories of the relevant statement, and a selection of ideas about reclaiming Europe was framed as a collection of essays that was published just a few weeks ago, was distributed together with a document pack of this meeting, is also available at the reception desk today. Thank you very much, people in Albanian Academy of Sciences who have organized it so. This year, the topics in focus are, first, the history of science in Europe and scientific freedom, then the roles of disciplines in healthy European research base, and last but not least, science as public good. And perhaps even more importantly, and also traditionally, a large portion of time is dedicated to challenges for science in the region where the meeting is being organized. And this is not a random idea. It is an agreed feature of the work of European members. And the point is that the floor is often given to less traveled regions. And this is our contribution towards strengthening connections and reducing contrasts on our continent. Having said that, it is my pleasure to declare this meeting officially open and to hand over the floor to Academician Neki Frasheri, who will introduce colleagues from Albania.
Welcome to all colleagues and participants. I am head of section for natural and technical sciences in Academy of Science. And I have now the difficult task to put a number of speakers in 10 minutes of time. First, I invite the President of Academy of Sciences of Albania, Professor Sunde. As Scientific Secretary of Academy of Science, academic.
Thank you, Professor Frasheri. Honorable Mr. President of Academy of Sciences, Academic Ginushi, Honorable Presidents of Sister Academies, Honorable Participants, Representative of Sister Academies in Europe, Rectors, Vice-Rectors, Member of our Assembly, dear delegates, dear guests and friends. It is a great honor and pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the Presidency and our President of Academy of Sciences of Albania to our institution and to wish you, dear guests, who have traveled long distances, a pleasant stay in Tirana. We have warmly embraced the organization of this important meeting in Albania for the first time, gathering representatives of European academies and other research institutions under the framework of the European Group of International Science Council. Rarely has this hall hosted such a distinguished audience, representative of more than 15 academies, since the regional and broader summit of academies held 3 years ago within the framework of the Berlin process. The significance of this working meeting lies in the chosen theme, the scientific temperament, and in the topics that it will address, such as the role of science in the development of small economies and the safeguarding of scientific freedom. The so-called scientific temperament has always been one of the greatest challenges of science and one that every scientist must face. Throughout history, science has met this challenge with courage and competence, daring to question even the more established theories and minds, from gravitational attraction, Euclidean geometry, and the fundamental laws of classic physics, to today's debates around artificial intelligence. Yet, in our time, the increasing politicization of even natural phenomena, such as climate change or pandemics, combined with the opportunities and the abuses enabled by digital technologies and social media, which exploit ignorance or bad faith in public discourse, demands from science and scientists even stronger mutual support, balance, and personal integrity. For us, this meeting represents a valuable opportunity to exchange experiences and to strengthen cooperation between the Academy of Sciences of Albania and its sister academies, helping to bring the Albanian scientific community closer to the European one with the broader process of internationalization and globalization. This meeting takes place at a particularly meaningful moment for the development of scientific research in Albania and for the role that our academy seeks to play in that development. Within the context of European Union accession negotiation and the gradual achievement of European standards, Albania adopted on 2024 a smart development strategy in which research and innovation occupy a special place. A strategy to whose preparation the Academy of Science was among the key contributors. The strategy aims to increase direct funding for research to over 1% of GDP, a major step forward for us, and to establish several elite research centers, mainly in nanotechnology and biotechnology, initiatives promoted by the Academy itself. Their realization would further strengthen the Academy's statutory role in promoting, stimulating, and supporting scientific research while ensuring that research in Albania contributes to our core mission areas. First, supporting higher education institutions in continuously improving the scientific level of academic staff as the main mechanism for aligning diplomas, education, and the training of high-level specialists with those of peer institutions. And secondly, fostering and sustaining business engagement in the adoption of new technologies. Our mission also includes cultivating interest in science among the younger generation, encouraging them not to choose only the easier path to study, but to remain committed to the fundamental science and to help prevention of the brain drain. It's just the opposite. Without turning this welcoming address into a discussion of many challenges that science and the research face in our country, topics that will be addressed throughout this meeting, I once again warmly welcome you and express our appreciation for the important role and work of ISC, as well as the Academy's commitment to the contributing activity actively as one of its members. I congratulate the organizer for preparing this meeting and thank you for choosing Tirana for this important meeting. Have a successful meeting.
Thank you. I would invite Dr. Robert Dumi, who is Director of International Programs at the National Agency for Research, the main funding body for research in Albania. Please, only 3 minutes.
Very much. Here. Of Albania, dear academicians, distinguished representatives, esteemed guests, it is a profound honor for me to address you today on behalf of the National Agency for Scientific Research and Innovation of Albania. We are delighted to join this historic gathering, the first ever meeting of European members of International Science Council to be held in Albania. Allow me to begin by expressing our sincere appreciation to the Academy of Science of Albania and the European International Science Council for making this important event in a reality. Bringing together so many prominent voices from across Europe under a roof marks some milestones of our scientific community and for Albanians, growing engagement in the international research landscape. The chosen theme, scientific temperament, could not be more timely. It reminds us that science thrives on openness, on courage to challenge established ideas, on the humility to evolve when confronted with new evidence. This mindset is the foundation of the progress, especially at a moment where digital technologies, environmental change, and social polarization are reshaping our world at unprecedented pace. For Albania, the commitment to such values goes hand in hand with our national vision to strengthen scientific excellence, international collaboration, and innovation capacity. Through the work of NASRI, National Agency for Scientific Research and Innovation, we continue to expand opportunities for our researchers by integrating them into European research area in European programs such as Horizon Europe's Coast Eureka Actions, and other collaborative networks that embody the very principles promoted by International Science Council. We are aware that challenges for smaller nations are distinct: limited resources, fragmented infrastructure, and the constant struggle to transform knowledge into economic and social value. Yet, this very reality makes the discussions we are having today on science and the public good and as a driver for the economy of small countries so essential. Albania's scientific potential is growing, and our researchers are increasingly contributing to international projects, publications, and innovation ecosystems. Events like this want to strengthen our resolve to make science a cornerstone of national development, a bridge between knowledge and policy, between researchers and innovation, and ultimately between Albania and the wider European science community. On behalf of NASRI, I wish to reaffirm our full support for the mission of the International Science Council and our commitment to promoting open, ethical, and impactful science that serves society, protects the environment, and builds trust across borders. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now I invite Professor Ilir Kapaj, who is Deputy Rector of Agriculture University of Tirana, the oldest one in our country.
Good morning, distinguished presidents and members of academies of science, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a distinct honor to address this esteemed assembly devoted to strengthening scientific excellence and cooperation across the regions. Allow me to share a few reflections on the current challenges of agricultural research in Albania and on the strategic importance of collaboration between the Academy of Science of Albania and Agricultural University of Tirana within the broader framework of regional and European cooperation. Agricultural research in Albania faces a number of well-known structural challenges. Despite solid academic foundations, research funding remains limited, still below 0.2% of GDP, which restrict long-term innovation and infrastructure renewal. Institutional fragmentation continues to impede effective coordination between research centers, universities, and advisory services, while the aging of labs and insufficient access to digital and biotechnological tools slow down modernization. At the same time, the migration of talented young researchers represents a significant loss of human potential. In this environment, the role of Academy of Science of Albania becomes pivotal. As the principal body guiding national scientific policy, the Academy serves as a platform for interdisciplinary dialogue, evidence-based policy making, and international cooperation. Through its convening power, the Academy can ensure that scientific priorities in agriculture are aligned with national development goals and with the European research area. Equally vital is the contribution of Agriculture University of Tirana, Albania's leading institution in agriculture, education, research, and innovation. The university acts as a bridge between fundamental science and applied practice. It develops and implements projects under Horizon Europe, Erasmus+, and COST actions, It trains the next generation of agriculture scientists, and it provides the analytical foundation for modern research, agri-food policy and rural development. Following the approach of research-driven education, Agricultural University of Tirana, together with Boca University in Vienna, Austria, is reforming the education and scientific research. We are halfway of our new and modern road of building excellence in education and research, and to reposition AUT as one of the leading higher education institutions in the region dealing with agricultural sciences. The collaboration of the Agricultural University of Tirana with the Academy of Science in Albania offers a unique opportunity to integrate academic research, innovation, and public policy into a coherent national system. Our joint efforts should aim to achieve, in my view, three key objectives: strategic integration, aligning Albanian agricultural research agenda with regional and European priorities in sustainable food system, climate adaptation, and green transition. Capacity building, meaning by establishing joint doctoral programs, regional research networks, and mobility schemes to empower young scientists, and applied innovation and policy impact. By linking the Academy's expertise with the University of Agriculture of Tirana and the national innovation agencies, we can transform research output into policies, pilot projects, and rural innovations. Collaboration in Horizon Europe, cross-section, and regional platforms such as the Balkan Research Area can amplify our collective voice in European research policy. Again, by linking research outputs with real-world challenges from digital farming to rural entrepreneurship, thereby ensuring measurable social and economic impact. In essence, the collaboration is not only about scientific exchange, it is about creating a knowledge ecosystem that connects farmers, researchers, policymakers, and industries, ensuring that research truly serves societies. Distinguished colleagues, agriculture remains a cornerstone of Albanian economy and identity. Strengthening its scientific foundation is not only a national necessity, it is a regional responsibility. Through closer cooperation among our academies of science and universities, we can build a shared research space rooted in knowledge, trust, and innovation. Let us work together to ensure that the science we advance today becomes the prosperity and sustainability of tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I would like to invite Professor Anila Paparisto, Deputy Rector of the University of Tirana. She may say a few words.
Honorable President of Academy of Science, distinguished colleagues, guests, participants. In Silicon Valley, they say that if you are not failing, you are not innovating. In Balkans, we offer here that don't mess with the formula. The University of Tirana has chosen the first path. And for this reason, it's for me a privilege and honor to speak before you today in the name of Tirana University and also in the name of our rector, Professor Dr. Ertan Hoxha, about the role, contribution of our university in the field of scientific research, internationalization, and the courage to embrace change. The University of Tirana today is an institution of around 2,000 students and over 1,000 academic staff. 82% of our academic staff hold the title and degrees. In this strong academic and organizational environment, forms the foundation for a broad platform of academic collaboration and exchange. We are part of 12 international networks, and we offer 185 study programs, 31 of which are offered in foreign languages, including here a Master in Cybersecurity in a double degree with La Sapienza University in Rome, a Master of Science in Automatic Translation and Machine Learning with Sorbonne Paris North University, and a Bachelor Program in Natural Environment Sciences in University of Tuscia in Viterbo, Italy. We have over 200 bilateral agreements and enhanced academic exchange and research and collaboration, and 328 active Erasmus Plus agreements, which in the era of mobility alone have supported over 1,400 students and staff in exchange in international collaboration in just 5 past years.
In the field of scientific research and innovation, University of Tirana has achieved significant progress. In the past 5 years, we have been applying in around 700 projects with the rate of success over 40%. Only in 2025 alone, we are implementing 152 projects invested or supplied by international funds, and 108, and we applied in this year, only the first part of the year, in 108 projects in major calls like Jean Monnet, Erasmus+, Horizon, Interact, Europaid, UNICEF, Justice Program. Currently, we are implementing 37 international projects funded with the Fund of International Funds in the field of technology and digitalization. The funds secure over these years from national and international donation and sources for Tirana University amount in the 2.5 million euros, marking a remarkable increase compared with 2020, when the competitive fund reached only 56,000 euros. Today, that figure stands in nearly 500,000 euros for a single year. And this is not merely a statistic, this is a clear indication of a profound transformation of our university. In particular, the University of Tirana is active participant in important Horizon Europe and Horizon 2020 projects, having secured from those programs over 1.3 million euros for research initiatives and strengthening work in the field of nanotechnology, gender equality, sustainable entrepreneurship, and public science and communication. Tirana University, at the same time, is part of a major achievement. In the University of Tirana is participating in Uninovis, Data for Science for Life, European University Alliance. This strategic initiative brings together 7 public universities from 7 different countries: France, Germany, Italy, Finland, Lithuania, Spain, and Albania. This alliance promotes lifelong learning, transition toward the digital and green society, and interdisciplinary innovation, aiming to establish a joint university by 2030 in Europe, which will focus on the data management and utilization in medicine, biotechnology, and economics. This collaboration strengthens students and staff mobility and depends due to internationalization tie in both research and education. Additionally, the University of Tirana is proud to hold the HR Excellency Research logo, to be implementing its gender equality plan, and to have received Erasmus Plus Charter in Higher Education, reflecting our commitment to the highest standards in research, education, and inclusion. In a rapid changing world, where knowledge and technology are the engine of the development, the University of Tirana stands ready to embrace challenges of tomorrow. We are not merely participating in the global transformation, we are active creators of new pathways, connecting knowledge with innovation and international collaboration. With strong academic capacity, advanced internationalization partnerships, and successful research projects, we continue to contribute to building a future where our university aims to be a key reference point on the Balkan and European knowledge map. And as we move forward with this clear vision and determination steps, we are proud that our university is now a member of CMC International Experiment of CERN, one of the largest and the most prestigious projects in modern science. This highlights not only our research potential, but also our ambitions to be where the future of science is being shaped. And let us continue building together a future based on knowledge, collaboration, and innovation. Thank you very much, and I wish to this conference all the success.
Well, thank you. And now I invite Professor Soila Klici, Deputy Rector of University of Medicine in Tirana.
Thank you. I will try to be short. Esteemed head of the Albanian Academy of Science, esteemed representatives of the International Science Council, distinguished colleagues. It's a great pleasure for me to be here as a representative of University of Medicine Tirana, which is the only public university offering higher education in the medical field. We are composed of 3 faculties: Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Medical Technical Sciences, and Faculty of Dentistry. We offer education in all 3 cycles of studies. We have bachelor programs, Master of Sciences, 37 schools of specialization, several PhD schools, and also we are part of different networks, collaborative networks. We have been part of different projects, Horizon Europe, we are part of Erasmus+, and different European Mediterranean networks. Since our foundation, we have been committed to work toward internationalization, and the presence here today is also showing this support to becoming as more international as possible. We believe this is a great opportunity for all participants to update on recent advances, on recent development in different fields of science. And in fact, science doesn't know borders. It goes beyond politics. It goes beyond small interest. So I believe that this meeting could represent a starting point for future collaborations, and we are here to become part of them with pleasure. I wish you a successful working day and a pleasant stay in Tirana as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I invite Dr. John Lully, who is director of doctoral school in Mediterranean University in Tirana.
Okay, thank you. Distinguished guests, distinguished academicians, professors, I'm going to be short in my speech. I will offer you a few informations for you to create an idea which are the opportunities of private universities here in Albania in the sphere of scientific research. Scientific research constitutes the fundamental axis of the mission of the Mediterranean University of Albania, which I represent here today, contributing not only to the production of new knowledge, but also to socioeconomic, political, and cultural development. The university provides supports nowadays in applications in European programs such as Horizon Europe, Erasmus+, COST, Marie Curie, etc., to increase competitive capacity and international collaborations. In the last 2 years, the university has done a good job in the dissemination and transfer of scientific work, both internally and externally. The premise for this has been the Euro-Mediterranean Journal and the 2 new journals that started to be published in the last 2 years, Eco Infosystem and Politea. The Mediterranean University of Albania has established a new network of partners with whom it cooperates in increasing the quality of internationalization by signing the International Credit Mobility Erasmus Plus agreement. Currently, there are about 40 foreign universities that are signing agreements with our university in the main purpose of exchanging academic experience between academic staff and students. Our university and University of Tuscia in Italy, starting from 2022, jointly launched the master degree Marketing and Quality, at the end of which a double diploma is obtained. Our university is also active in the Erasmus plus K2 component founded by the European Commission in the so-called USIA project, University Society Interfaces in Albania, co-production of knowledge and research that matters. In this context, the European Commission entrusted our university to lead a large consortium of Albanian and foreign universities by offering to the Mediterranean University of Albania a grant of around 860,000 euros for the implementation of the project. And of course, this is a clear indicator of the trust and the quality of the research, scientific research at our university. Much still remains to be done, especially in a country like Albania, where there is a lack of financing the scientific activities of the universities. But in this context, the commitment of public and private universities to increasing investment in supporting scientific research should be appreciated. Thank you very much, and I wish you a successful working day.
Thank you. And to close this part of the session, I invite the head of your academy in Albania, Dr. Belfero.
Thank you, Professor, most distinguished academics, Mr. President. I would like to be very brief. It's my honor to present the Albanian Young Academy, a body which works as a commission within the Academy of Sciences of Albania since 2017. We are a small body of young academics, but I think what we represent is much more important because we represent that the Academy of Sciences of Albania is open to young individuals, to young researchers, and it's also very inclusive and open to all kinds of collaborations and promotion platforms for young researchers. The Academy of Sciences recognized the generational gap between young academics and senior academics. So to address this, in 2017, we were founded, but also as founding members, we were integral part of the decision-making. So we were not just invited, but we were very included in the whole process. And this inclusion, to me, to all of us, was really important. The Albanian Young Academy integrates within the Academy of Sciences of Albania as a commission, but we also feel and we are very independent in our decisions and supported by the Senior Academy. In November 2023, the founding charter of Albanian Young Academy was officially approved as a statutory document of the Academy of Sciences of Albania with the endorsement of the ALEA, All European Academies, and the Global Young Academy. There is a picture there at our inaugural first big conference with the Minister of Education at that time, meaning how important it was for all parts. The current composition of the Albanian Young Academy is such that represents many fields of expertise, and we are dominated by female researchers. And this composition, so we are the members, is also geographically mapped from many different universities from all around the country, so not only from Tirana exclusively, meaning that this mapping is important. And at the same time, what is more important is not just our own memberships. It's the network that we tried to build within the national community of young researchers. But, for example, one of the most important things that we did was touring in different public and non-public universities, trying to meet and create a wide network of young academics and also learning their challenges, their difficulties, and trying to deal with it in a more concrete way. So this is our way of building a platform. Also, I cannot skip by our alumni, the founding members of the 2017, because we now have two cohorts of young academics. They are our alumni, they are mentors, collaborators, and our inspiration too. Besides the national level, we hope and believe, and we strongly work to internationalize the Young Academy and to be an integral part of everything that is happening in science in terms of young academics and young researchers all over the world, meaning we are an active member of the Global Young Academy and of the ENIA, of the European Young Academy. We participate in the annual meetings of the European Young Academy, And we try to position Albania and young Albanian researchers in a more global context and try to do our best to integrate ourselves in the global debate. I come myself from the literature and linguistics fields, and in our field, we always see that there is a need for internationalization of our studies. And I'm very happy that, for example, this recently appointed Minister of Education set as her top priority the internationalization of the Albanian scholars and universities. For example, I'm finishing. One of our two steps, concrete steps that we're taking is becoming part of IASAS, which is an institution that strengthens the policy processes and science advice. And we recently signed the Stockholm Charter for Academic Freedom. Here is our participation at the joint meeting between ENIA and ALEA in 2024 in Berlin, in 2025 in the annual meeting in Bern, in Switzerland. And to finally finish my presentation, I would like to speak about some of the activities that we have held here at the Academy of Sciences. We have held many workshops and conferences. I am only mentioning one of them, which is the 2024 conference on artificial intelligence and the transformation of scientific research, which was really a challenging endeavor for us because it was the first international and interdisciplinary conference that we organized as a young body. And the conference brought together 53 researchers from 21 national and international institutions and many countries. So this cross-disciplinary exchange was very valuable to us, especially in this field that is really recently developing very fast. To address, for example, issues of dissemination and improving the situation of young researchers and how to make their works visible, we made a series of workshops. These are some of our workshops on how to understand how, for example, international softwares and hubs work, like ORCID, but also national, because we have our own national networks such as COBIS and ECRIS. So we hope that our contribution will help to continue this collaboration, this very close collaboration between the senior academics and young academics, and also create a hub not just for ourselves, but for the younger generations. And in our let's say, objectives and main aims, we aim to make not only science and the scientific product more visible, more relevant to the society, but also be part of the policy making and understand that we are very, very much part of everything that happens in terms of scientific policies and scientific diplomacy. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I invite academic Sam Tamo to continue with the working session.
Thanks a lot to all presenters, and thank you very much, Professor Falcheri, for making this mission impossible, keeping in time frame of academic people whose standard unit is not 3 minutes, but 45 minutes. Thank you very much for that. I think we have heard a very nice firework of aspirations, achievements, developments, collaborations, ideas, etc. So the delegates are now much closer to Albania than before. It is my pleasure now to chair the session of a few more in-depth presentations on content. The first presentation will be given by academician Ilerian Malolari. Probably you all know him. He is associated member of Albanian Academy of Sciences since 2009 and a regular member of the Assembly of this Academy since 2020. His background is in industrial chemistry, and basically he has a lifelong career in chemical processes engineering. But he has taken the task to introduce much more widely Albanian science to us. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for my introducing chair of ICS Europe group, dear President of Academy of Science of Albania, dear guest, dear representative, dear participants. I'm really very happy to thank the organizer of this great meeting with such a wide group of interested people. And in our everyday life, we have a lot of things to do, a lot of things to mention, to open discussion for the most interesting issues. From the title, it seems that it is a question how to change, how to drive our moving toward the prosperity of the country through increasing our contribution to scientific research and to innovation. What are the challenges for science in our small country and in the region? So doing so visible seems to be a little bit, sorry, I have to be focused on one presentation somewhere. And since the science is our most powerful public good, this is the main issue of our presentation and our problematic things. In the small countries like Albania seems to be very potential this, and it is really untapped yet. It is written over there that we must rethink the entire ecosystem from infrastructure to innovation. And to the utmost intention of us, it remained some of the issues that I have to mention it a little bit fast due to timekeeping. And in the first row of our problematic things, it is fragmented research infrastructure. And most of Albanians are present here from representative institutions and other scientific organizations. Seems to be really very problematic between since a lot of institution has been moved out from in the past. In 2008, 2009, a lot of institution has been moved from the Academy of Sciences into the universities. So it has been weakened the connection between them, and so it is decreased. Nowadays, due to restructuring of the Academy of Science, it has been win again the powerful things, the powerful road to revive the communications and to increase the visibility of scientific research and innovation into the country. And another problematic, it is brain drain and talent retention. Since 1990 to 2000, over 40% of the Albanian top scientists and professions have been emigrated outside, which is let's say the most problematic for a lot of different countries, especially for small countries. And a lot of things need to be established in order to make it possible to resolve this problem. As a matter of fact, instead of insufficient funding and investment, which research and development spending is still under 0.1% of GDP, though nowadays it's increasing, and our government has promising that in a couple of years it will be reached up to 1%. So without sustained investments, it is well known that scientific breakthroughs rarely reach the market or attract private sector interest. So there is a weak linkage between science and industry. Scientific institutions often operate in isolation from business and entrepreneurship. There's a need for a translational research center that bridge academia and industry, especially in biotech, artificial intelligence, and bioenergy. Policy and governance gap seems to be from according to the scheme, seems to be the infrastructure. It is a most powerful things to be attention to, that academia seems to make it possible. All the things being followed, the title driving science-driven economy transformation. But in Albania, it is still, it is remained a little bit in Albanian, this schema. But driving, it seems to be from Academy of Science to the industry, and it is the economic transformation seems to be passing through the innovation, through the knowledge, through the applications. All our studies seems to be applied to different field of economy. So it is a perception that in our country it is a lack of commercialization pathways. As it can be seen over here, science-driven growth, it is multidimensional. It is from the research infrastructure that need to be rebuilt. And as I already mentioned, it is to be reached up to 1%. I will show in a graph what is comparing to the neighbor countries. But there is a reverse brain drain and investment in talents. So I'm not going to mention all the parameters that it is, let's say, empowering the science-driven growth, economic growth, but few mechanisms exist to turn scientific discoveries into startup or products. There is integration, global integration and collaboration, but Albania's scientific community needs for stronger ties with the European Union research programs and global networks. I'm going a little bit in following slides to mention this thematics very interesting. Our strategic priorities seems to be according to the law, which is a strategy plan. It is being built a couple years ago for the period up to 2030, and it is some objectives very strong that needs to be followed to make it a reality. Strengthen policy and governance. It is said the Academy will serve as a strategic advisor to government, ensuring science policy, which is not just written, but implemented already. So it is said here that the policy government, it is one of the issues that it intensively impact to the great movement forward to the prosperity of the country. And then most important is also public engagement, which we are trying firstly to make it visible during all our research and development movement. So we have negative forces of the brain drain, and we are moving forward to brain gain with different kind of objectives and movements from the strategic priorities in order to make it effectively moving toward the developed. So I'm going a little bit further through my presentation. I have already mentioned here that it is priority things that need to be rebuilt and modernize our research infrastructure, to invest in talent and reverse brain drain through fellowships, diaspora engagement, and mentorship networks to forge science industry partnership by incentivizing joint research and development and launching science to market forum. I have put together here as a perception, integrated perception for all these key strategies for science driven growth, from the investment in applied research and innovation to build inclusive science infrastructure, strengthen education industry linkage, to leverage EU collaboration and funding, to support startups and spin-offs, which is nowadays being force-driven, and promote science communication and public trust. So I'm not going into detail to explain all the things that have been already mentioned, but let's go through the promise and the paradox between it is a region of potential, rich in history of scientific contribution, strong foundation in engineering, mathematics, and medicine, highly skilled and talented researcher, but the paradox it is that this potential is underutilized due to a complex web of systemic challenges. As the first challenge, it is brain drain, as I mentioned before. So there are some push factors and some pull factors: lack of funding, low salaries, and limited career prospects. But on the other side, it is pull factors are better opportunities, higher wage, and advanced infrastructure abroad. So as a result, and continuous loss of the brightest young minds and experienced researchers, crippling domestic research capacity. So it is lack of these incentives from the different kind of organization and from the government seems to be in contribution of the hemorrhage of the talents. So also here it is, as I promised, from the GDP percentage in the region, Albania it is 0 point some, Serbia 0.50, and Croatia 1 point some. Meanwhile, the European Union average it is up to 2%. So this is a good home duty for our governments of the small countries like Albania. So to destroy some bureaucracies and to make it possible the digital gap to be filled up with the knowledge, and then of course increasing infrastructure, laboratories and equipments which are often outdated or insufficient. So this is important to be mentioned between us, and we are open-hearted now speaking for the lack of the things that need to be following up. Some key points for the political instability and short-termist, it is science policy is often not a priority and changes with political cycles. Lack of a clear long-term national strategy for science and innovation, and this instability discourages international collaboration and private sector investment. So there are some points that I am mentioning in order to make it some home duty for ourselves and for the other guests, for other friends country, to be put it in queue of finding the solution for everything. Some key recommendations for the way being forward, I said there it is a glimmer of hope that seems to be that although there are some difficulties, although there are some lack of this and this and this, but it is a glimmer of hope that it is increasing some lights for creation attractive careers, some strategic priorities, and the deeper integration, strengthen ties with European Union framework programs and regional cooperation initiatives. I have written over here, so it is a part to look it directly to the eyes of the others. Unlocking the scientific potential of the Western Balkans is a key to unlock its future. So if we see the focus of Albanian specific challenges and path forward seems to be a complex from down to up and passing through the industry from the knowledge. This is, let's say, figuratively described by this graph, but it is a row showing that the path is going from the scientific research up to industry and to which contribute to the producing of the goods for the economy, increasing renewable energy, participating strongly in circular economy in order to make it economy driven all the research and innovation in our country. So the Albanian brain drain, it is a national emergency. I'm not going pass through all this, and we're crying for the situation, but there are some things that we have to invest in some path forward, returning scientist grants to make it possible to create it, to merit an international publications, and to foster stronger diaspora engagement, creating formal networks for Albanian, which is already on the way. From political rhetoric to strategic investment, of course, it is not saying just blah blah to the documents and to the speaking of our speakers, but it is really a strong need for investment to the increasing the budget for our project, for our innovation, for our research, passing through the application to the industry. So leveraging geographic, the emerging strength seems to be some Albanian context. Strength exists in areas like seismology and earthquake engineering, which is a critical national need, tourism, biodiversity, ICT, and computer science, renewable energy, and the path forward seems to be to designate, I have written here, National Research Center of Excellence, but some discussion needs to be open in this area to see what it is exactly meaning and how to better understanding the Center of Seismology and Resilient Infrastructure, a Center for Biodiversity and Ecotourism. So, of course, I have through this idea just for opening discussion, and let's see what it is in different our countries, small countries, how must be economy driven or how to going through the prosperity of the country with our scientific research. So these are some geographical strengths of Albania, some strong points for emerging strength. So it seems that how Albanian natural assets can be transformed into strategic sector through science and innovation. So going slowly to the end of my presentation, it seems that the deepening integration with the European Union is non-negotiable. So also our government, it says that EU integration is not just a political inspiration, it's a backbone of Albania's scientific and economic future. As a conclusion, Albania's scientific future is inextricably linked to full integration to the European research area. And the Albanian context, while participation in Horizon Europe is possible, success rates are often low due to a lack of experience and networking. As a visual structure, I prepared a slide, but then a graph by deleted all because it is full understandable that the Albanian in that graph has been from the bottom up to the gateway, and the three upward lines seems to be research and innovation through Horizon Europe, COST, and other programs, education and mobility, Erasmus+, Marie Sklodowska-Curie actions, and other, digital and economic infrastructure, EU digital agenda, single market, and so on. So finally, the path forward to resolve the problem, to resolve the anxiousness and the difficulties of our movement going forward to the prosperity of the country seems to be pushing forward connection between national contact points in order to take from them, to be delivered from them the experience and the experts that can provide high quality support to Albanian applicants. But on the other side, it is a mandate and funds participation in EU twinning projects to rapidly build administrative and research capacity by working directly with the European Union member state institutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this overview. It seems that you have a good plan, and this is a basis of success. Now, I also would like to ask Commissioner Frasheri to introduce some short presentations from Albania.
We have a joint presentation with results from research units that are created by our academy. They will speak shortly about their work, and to start with, I invite academician Gzim Hoxha to say some words about 3 major projects that we have in our academy.
Distinguished colleagues, esteemed guests, representatives of academic institutions, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure and honor to share with you today in this international academic gathering one of the most significant undertakings in the history of Albanian studies, the preparation of the 3 major works that define the current stage of Albanology: the history of the Albanians, the Grand Dictionary of Albanian Language, and the Albanian Encyclopedia. These 3 works embody not only the culmination of a long research tradition in their respective disciplines, but also a new and modern approach, comprehensive, multidisciplinary, and scientifically rigorous to the study of Albanian history, language, and culture. The history of Albanians, comprising approximately 2,500 pages in 4 volumes. The history of the Albanians represents the most complete synthesis ever produced of the historical, political, cultural, and social development of the Albanian people, from antiquity to the end of the 20th century. This is not merely a political or military chronicle. It received as a history of ideas, institutions, culture, economy, and religion, reflecting the inner dynamics and external influences that have shaped Albanian identity over the centuries. The work is intended for both national and international audiences and will be published also in English. The Grand Dictionary of the Albanian Language. The second major work, already completed and currently being evaluated by a wider circle of scholars, include about 100,020 words and expressions. This monumental lexicographic project is the result of many years of systematic and collective work. It seeks to preserve, enrich, and scientifically document vocabulary of the Albanian language, integrating the latest linguistic and semantic research, as well as modern lexical developments. The Albanian Encyclopedia. The third work is a project ever undertaken in the Albanian-speaking world. Planned in 10 volumes, it is being realized through the institutional cooperation between the Academy of Sciences of Albania and Academy of Sciences and Arts of Kosovo, based on an intergovernmental agreement signed 20 June 2022 of the Prime Ministers of Albania and Kosovo. This joint endeavor aims to bring together knowledge from all fields of science and culture, highlighting the contributions of Albanian scholars, artists, and thinkers throughout history. The Albanian Encyclopedia is conceived as shared as a platform of knowledge and identity, offering both national comprehensiveness and international visibility. These three major works are not only scholarly milestones, but also intellectual legacies for the future generations. They constitute a comprehensive synthesis of the most significant achievements in Albanology, incorporating both established scholarship and new research findings. Their preparation involved collaboration among historians, linguists, and cultural scholars from Albania, Kosovo, and their wider Albanian academic diaspora, united by a shared vision of high scientific standards. Dear colleagues, at a time when international academic cooperation is more essential than ever, these three major works aspire to stand as both landmarks of Albanian scholarship and bridges of dialogue between Albanian studies and the broader world of science and humanities. In this spirit, the Academy of Science of Albania remains open to further collaboration, exchange, and joint research initiatives, convinced that knowledge grows best when shared. Thank you for attention.
The next one is for the Center of Nanotechnology, and we hope to have academic Aben Mekochi online.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I cannot see the presentation, or it's okay. Yeah. So I am sorry that couldn't be in person in this interesting meeting in Albania. I want to speak about the Nanotechnology and Nanoscience Research Center, a virtual center that is created next to Academy of Sciences of Albania since 5 years ago. The normal question for everyone overall abroad is that why nanotechnology in Albania and in the region? You know that nanotechnology is the technology of the century, and indeed it is very transversal in terms of science and engineering, but also very important in relation to the impact that this technology can bring in many areas, going from health, environment, safety and security, agriculture, and more. This is why this center is trying to offer collaboration in the area of nanotechnology between the excellent research groups identified in Albania, but also in the region, like in North Macedonia, in Kosovo, but also we have associated groups in other countries in the region, including in EU, like in Spain, Italy, and more. So this center that started as a center only for the Albanian-speaking countries in a natural mode has grown to be a regional center because of such collaboration. Next slide, please. So one of the very important objectives of the center has been the internationalization of scientific research in the region. And this has been done through important international congresses that during the last 5 years has been organized in Albania, starting from the very prestigious Trends in Nanotechnology conference that was held in Albania 5 years ago, and ending from the last Nano-Balkan conference. So we created our own brand of conference that achieved bringing in Tirana, in the region, the most important scientists working in the area of nanoscience and nanotechnology, with objective to create networking and bring possibilities for young researchers to build future projects in the area of nanoscience and nanotechnology. Next slide, please. So thanks to the support given by Academy of Sciences of Albania, since 3 years, we have been launching Ignite projects. These are, of course, modest projects, but have allowed the collaboration between the research groups, at least 2 research groups from Nano-Balkan Center, with 1 international research groups in different areas, going from environmental studies with interest for water monitoring, for example, or other topics like, for example, in healthcare, with some research in the area of development of nanofibers and integration in some biomedical applications or some therapies using nanocapsules and more. But also in food safety and security, with several projects with interest for quality of the food and also monitoring of pathogens or even contaminants, which is a big problem, not only for Albania, but for entire region. Next slide, please. For Nano-Balkan Center, the education, as of course for university and higher education, academic program, and this is why we have developed in collaboration also with universities in the region, for example, University of Tirana, Western Balkan University, or University of Tetova, academic program in the area of nanoscience and nanotechnology, a master program that allows young students to be trained in this area and also start their research in some Nano-Balkan research groups. Next slide, please. In addition, Nano-Balkan has played an important role to attract and to be in contact, of course, with the talents, diaspora, organizing webinars, inviting excellent researchers who are working abroad, but also has been trying to put in contact the research done by academia with industry. So such collaboration is very, very important to build collaborations and to see for important improvements and applications in different industries. In Nano-Balkan, we have also a Quartz Forum that try to connect young researchers and develop programs for them for improving, helping young researchers to do better research and collaborations in this area. Next slide, please. So this is all from my side. Now Nano-Balkan is trying to build the physical center, and we hope with the support by Academy of Science of Albania and Albanian institutions, this is going to help because it's quite important for the science in general, but for nanotechnology in the region and serving as an excellent center for other centers in the future. Thank you very much.
Now it's coming the root moderator and saying that it's really interesting what we are having from the screen and from the speakers. So the situation in Albania is extremely interesting. It's complicated. There seems to be very good plan forward, but our time frame is such that I'm very sorry to say that we can't afford for the now more Albanian speakers. The materials which have presented for this session will be included into the minutes, and they will be available, but we don't have much time now for them. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. So we go forward with the presentations from delegates. And the first presentation is not about gender balance. It's about that we can't afford losing any minds. If they have born into a different body, it doesn't matter. They are all useful for science, and they must be on scientific landscape. So Professor İlkay Erdoğan Orhan from Turkish Academy of Sciences will present on that topic. She is a pharmacist by education. She has been Dean of Faculty of Pharmacy in 3 different universities, and currently at Lokman Hekim University in Ankara, Turkey. And just to mention something about her quality, she's presently the associated editor of 2 quartile 1 journals, international journals, Phytomedicine and Phytochemical Reviews. İlkay, please, the floor is yours now for 15 minutes. It's okay?
Thank you, Tarmo, for this nice introduction. And I'm happy to be in Tirana again, 3rd time. And thank you, my group, for giving me this chance to present about hidden role of women in science. Actually, my time was flexible, so I was prepared for like 30 minutes, but I will try to squeeze in 15 minutes. So it is quite colorful. I think you will enjoy. And please do not think that the women scientists, very reputed women scientists, are limited to my presentation. But these are the ones that I would like to mention more. So I would like to also start with saying that science is so immense, not limited to men, because we have millions of things still to explore all together, man and woman. But still we can see from the statistic that why should be dealing with science only for men? Of course, women also have contributed a lot to scientific development. I'm not get you bored with the statistics. I will actually tell you stories from the very famous women scientists, how they contributed in the science, but still from west to east, from north to south, we can see that the women researchers or scientists are still underrepresented. I mean, the statistics don't seem to be very bad. It's about 30%, but still I think it should be half to half. And considering the biggest scientific prize as the Nobel Prize, of course, still maybe about 5% of Nobel Prize are still with the women scientists. And we cannot see the women scientists a lot in the decision-making positions at the universities. This is one contradiction for whole world. So I will give you examples of very fascinating women scientists from ancient history to today. So I would like to start with Hypatia. Probably some of them you may know about her. She was like ancient Greek mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher, and she was also daughter of a very reputed of a scientist of his time, Theon. So she became one of the Alexandria's first female teacher of philosophy and mathematics. But her life was very, very tough, I should say, and her death was a real tragedy. But anyway, her life became a symbol for education, for how important education is for a woman's life. We don't know about her mother, but definitely her father, Theon, was he wanted to raise a perfect human, educated woman. So that's why when looking into the life of Hypatia, women had a public voice for the first time in the ancient history, although her life was quite tragedy. So I would like to move to another fascinating ancient woman scientist, Agnodis, the first MD medical doctor in the history. You see, born in 200 BC, a very old scientific woman figure. She always wanted to become a medical doctor, but at that time, of course, women were not allowed to have this profession. But anyway, she somehow, with a very in a very tragic life, she became the first female physician in ancient Athens. So she had to, hide her identity as being woman, because they were not allowed to practice this profession. So anyway, she pretended like a man doctor, but she always gave care to women patients. So women, somehow she became a legend amongst the women patients. And after that, man was really suspected why this doctor became so famous among the women. Then, of course, her identity came out. And anyway, after that, she was approved as the first woman doctor, medical doctor in the history. But, all doctors have oath on Hippocrates when they graduate, but I would like to also remind you that Hippocrates barred women from studying medicine under his tutelage. This is an historical, truth. So I will try to give some examples from different countries. For example, this is also another one who influenced me a lot, Maria Sibylla Merian. She is the first entomologist, and can you imagine in her time, of course, women also were not allowed to do science much. So she had to really combat for her dreams, because she was very interested in nature, flowers, insects and all those things. She was the first to bring together insects and their habitats. And you will see her drawings, how wonderful, how she was talented. And very bravely, in 1699, she sailed nearly 5,000 miles from Netherlands to South America just to study insects. So enormous contribution to entomology, can you imagine? And she was also in Deutsche Mark long time ago. Of course, she was honored with that. And here you can see the original drawings from her book called Metamorphosis. So another one is Mary Anning. Maybe you may know about her. She is the first female paleontologist from UK. Actually, she was born in 1799 in Lyme Regis, a part of England. And you see, she was, of course, living nearby the sea, the ocean, and by coincidence, she explored some fossils of dinosaurs at the coast. But she didn't know how important that, discovery was that time, because she was almost like a kid. She had a very poor life. Her family was very poor. So you see, she drew many, many sketches of these dinosaur skeletons. Now they are in the British Museum, I think. But when she took these dinosaur discoveries or skeletons, leftovers, to the scientists, male scientists, I underline. So, they, of course, they were excited, but they ignored the role of Mary Annings to this very encouraging scientific discovery. So, they would uncover his role, and they did not credit her for this discovery. Even the Geological Society of London refused to admit her, although she made a very important, contribution. Until 1904, the women, they were not accepted in the society as a member. So this is a very close date, I can tell you. So she had a very, very tragic life again, and she died from breast cancer. But her legacy still lives, recognized by UNESCO. And Mary has a statue in the city she was born, and she has become an icon of often forgotten contribution of women to the science. A very, very, influencing story. Another one is a medical doctor again, Elizabeth Blackwell. She is the first female medical doctor in the United States. So she had a very tragic life again. Just like Agnotis, she wanted to become a medical doctor, but she was not allowed to register in the medical school even then. So she was rejected from almost 13 medical schools throughout the US. So she had no chance. She rejected everywhere she applied. But in the end, she was admitted to Geneva College in New York by the dean, but the dean told her that you are not going to, interact with the men. You will be sitting, far away from the male students, and under these conditions, on most of the times, she was not allowed to go to the lab to study, but most of the times she was okay, and she graduated as the first ranked student from the college, and she became a medical doctor. Can you imagine? And then she, of course, she was much motivated to get more women into, medical school. So she opened some medical school and college with her sister, and in New York. So its mission included providing positions for female medical doctors. And another one, which really I like, Alien Gertrude. She's a biochemist, but she was born in like 1918. She had a very tough life again. She always wanted to, study medicine, but even that time in the New York City, she was rejected from many college. She was not allowed to go to university education. But in the end, one dean at the chemistry department, he allowed Alien Gertrude Alien to study chemistry, but at night classes. So in daytime, she was not allowed to come to the school. But anyway, after she graduated, she looked for a job, of course, as a chemist and biochemist, but she couldn't find. But maybe, unfortunately, luckily, because of the World War II in the United States, many men were in the armies, and there was also economic burden that time in US. So, of course, US government needed a woman power as a working force. So that's why she was lucky. So she entered a drug company. She worked in a very nice team with Professor Hitchings. He gave her a very big leadership position in this team. So they discovered many drugs. One of them is very famous. Do you know the drug medicine for herpes, Zovirax? So she is one of the inventors of this antiviral drug. So Gertrude Alien, in the end, she got Nobel Prize, and she is the only one scientist now without PhD degree having Nobel Prize. So this is very important. So you don't need to have a PhD degree to get a Nobel Prize. That she showed this. So her father was dentist, and her fiancé unfortunately died of endocarditis, and that's why she was also very interested. She was never got married, and she, just motivated for research. So she says that don't let others discourage you or tell you that you can't do it. Of course, you can do it. Another life story, scientific life story, of course, I like, belongs to Rosalind Franklin. Probably most of you know about her. And she is one of those underestimated scientific women. So she studied chemistry, and she contributed a lot to discovery of DNA, our DNA, but she was always underestimated. She got a PhD degree in physical chemistry from Cambridge University. She was really an expert in crystallography. She should have been given 2 Nobel Prizes, but she didn't get even one because of her hidden contribution. She was very eager to, become a scientist, and even her life story was, filmed. I think the star was Nicole Kidman. I would really suggest you to watch this one, photograph 51. This photo 51 is very important because it is the key picture for discovery of DNA, which was taken by Rosalind Franklin. But you see, when we say the discovery of DNA, we can always think of Watson and Crick. But actually, there was third person who made a huge contribution to discovery of DNA, and she was neglected, and she was not given a Nobel Prize. And coming to the more recent days, maybe I should also underline Elizabeth Blackburn. She's a molecular biologist, and she is still alive. She is originally from Australia, but did study in US. And prize motivation, she got a Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine in 2009, and the motivation was the discovery of how chromosomes are protected by telomerase. So this enzyme telomerase is very important. She had a PhD degree from Cambridge University, but she studied mostly in US. So very, very, again, important contribution to science. The way you do science should have an intrinsic beauty to it. She says this is very important. Oh my God, I have a lot of one. So let me just 5 more minutes. So this is Mariam Mizrakani, an Iranian mathematician, genius. She is called a genius. She was the first woman to receive the Fields Medal, which is the Nobel Prize in mathematician in 2014. But anyway, she died of cancer again, and she made a huge contribution. Okay, I'll skip this astronaut because the president said that I don't have much time. So this is Hayat Sindi, a medical doctor again from Saudi Arabia. She is the first Saudi woman to be accepted in Cambridge University to study biotechnology. And she is one of the most influential Arab women. Okay, sorry. I had also small, but I will skip that. So Dr. Snossi, again, medical doctor and very important scientific figure from France. She made a history in discovery at the HIV. You know, this is the virus code that causes. So I will skip that. Okay, so I'm just coming to the end. Of course, this is also one that I would like to give from my own country, from Turkey. She is Nusret Gökdağ. She's astronomer. She was born in Istanbul, and she was sent to Paris to study astronomy. She was given a governmental scholarship ordered by our founder, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, to study astronomy and come back to country. And she also did internship at the Paris Observatory. After she came back, she made the first PhD thesis at Istanbul University. She became the first female university senator and the first female dean in our country. And her words were impressive. She said that women should also explore the sky. And today, this is Gökdağ, the missile Gökdağ, which was developed by TÜBİTAK Defense Industrial Research and Development Institute in our country. This is the latest missile. I know war is out of science, but just, you know, the institute, our government honored Nusret Gökdağ, giving her name to this missile to honor her contribution to field of astronomic studies in our country. And you too, as a pharmacist, because I'm also a pharmacist, as a chair, I underlined, she was the first Chinese female scientist to be given a Nobel Prize. Her life is a real tragedy, but anyway, she was able to, you know, identify the mechanisms of artemisinin, and this is the anti-malarial drug, also recognized by WHO. The recent one, this year, she was Mary Brunkov. She was given the Nobel Prize in 2025. So I wanted to also include her name, mentioning about his contribution to molecular biology, also recognized by women. So this is like pretty much end. So we can see that considering the Nobel Prizes from, you know, starting to the end, so 68 times women were given Nobel Prize, but 67 women got the prize because Marie Curie was the only female scientist to get this prize twice. So we call them women who changed the world. There is a very little movie, but I don't know, like 2 minutes. So if you don't have time, then it's okay. I'll skip that. I skipped that too. Okay, I'm ending my talk with Gilpin Faust because she became the first female rector or president of Harvard University. And even that time, it was a big and huge impact in the American academical world. And she had a lot of interviews, you know, a lot of things going on around her. She finally ended this discussion saying that I am the rector of Harvard University. I'm not the female rector. I am the rector of Harvard University. I think this means a lot, and thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Şilkay. I forgot to tell that she's a principal member of the Turkish Academy of Sciences. We are now coming very close to coffee break, but still, before coffee break, I think we should tune our minds to the main topic of today, which is science as public good. It's very easy to explain people why pharmacy is public good and why biotechnology is public good, and like Ilir Kapai told, that agriculture serves as part of identity of Albania, so it's simple. But how to tell people that astronomy or mathematics is a public good? So Professor Manuel de Leon, member of Spanish Royal Academy of Exact Physical Natural Sciences of Spain, etc. He's mathematician, he's desperate mathematician, he's professional mathematician. All his life has been dedicated to study of differential geometry. And he will tell us how to explain that mathematics is a public good.
Thank you very much.
The screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Tarmo, and good morning to everyone. And I apologize because I would like to be in Tirana, but it's impossible at this to be there. I will, so you can show the presentation, please. Yes, of course. Thank you. So yeah, you can next slide, please. Yeah, as you can, you know, theories cannot be patented, but they generate richness since ancient times. For instance, the Egyptians used Pythagorean triples just to measurements after the Nile flows, to account animals, constructing buildings, etc. So mathematics has an important role in economy along the history, because mathematics constitutes a set of conceptual, artificial, and symbolic languages developed for communication between human beings. And so it has a significant presence in technology and economy, in all the process in economy. So next slide, please, because we don't have enough time. And so next slide, please. Okay, so in 2016, the European Commission launched a public consultation on mathematics for the new framework program, Horizon 2020. And among other things, the European Commission states that two facts motivated this request. Today's digital society depends on mathematics and algorithms. There is a vast pool of mathematical talent in Europe. The conclusion is that Europe can be first in mathematical applications for big data, computing, and especially higher power computation. to be first in modern science and innovation. So we will not discuss here how relevant is mathematics for all the sciences and technology, but the point is one can measure the economic value of mathematics, and this has been done in recent years in four countries: in the United Kingdom, in Spain, in France, and also in the Netherlands. It's an example of a small country. So next slide, please. The problem to measure the impact of mathematics in the economy is because mathematics is a semi-public good. And so this is difficult to measure using the usual instruments of national accounting in any country. And also, it has a status as private good, which is characterized by the appropriable benefits the use extend to economic activities allows for a partial approximation of its economic weight or relevance. So if we go to the next slide, yes, we have this. This is a usual classification of goods in economics. For rival or non-rival, there are two parameters: rival and non-rival, and exclusion and non-exclusion. And so this is a classification of goods: private goods, free access common goods, club goods, public goods. So mathematics is in between. Next slide, please. I will explain now as a semi-public good. As it is not an appropriable resource, for instance, water or other things, so there is no market value that reflects its true utility in society. And as a private good, taking into account the appropriate benefits for agents who possess knowledge of the fruits of mathematical research. So everyone can use mathematics, but they have to know mathematics just to use this good. So next slide, please. So in the last decades, so the revolution processed by internet has positioned mathematics as a fundamental input for production. Is at the base of the pyramid of ideas and knowledge that have productive applications. Even modern theories of economic growth link the long-term evolution of per capita income to the rate at which knowledge accumulates with us to increase in labor productivity. And so this is a strategic knowledge that will enable a country economy and its business fabric to take advantage of the opportunities arising for this technological revolution. Next slide, please. So I going to the point. In these four studies in the United Kingdom and the Netherlands, Spain, and France, in France it was a first report, and recently was an update of this report. And so this is important because we can see the evolution of the impact of mathematics. There are two impacts in employment and in the GDP. And in employment, for instance, in France, the mathematics have a direct impact in 12% of the employment in the country. It was 10% in the United Kingdom and 11% in the Netherlands. Direct employments from mathematics. In Spain, we have only 6%. So because the Spanish economy continues to employ a relatively small number of workers in data science, financial services, and software. The contribution to the GDP, to the gross domestic product. In France, in this last report, it was 70.6%. This is direct contribution of mathematics to the French GDP, and it was increasing even more the economy. For instance, you can see that the increase of this added value of mathematics in France, the annual rate was 3.7%, and the economy was 2.1%. In the other three countries, the United Kingdom, just 15 years ago, the economy value of mathematics in the contribution to GDP was 16%. In Spain was 10% in 2016, and in the Netherlands 13% in 2011. So for all this to be possible, to consider mathematics as a source of richness for any country, in particular for small countries, because mathematics is very cheap. It's not the mathematicians don't need big laboratories to do research. Only blackboards, access to the literature, and practically this is the things that we need. So for mathematics to take on a leading role in the educational model, to improve the link between the academic world and business, to promote research and apply mathematics, and to raise awareness in the business world of the usefulness of mathematics in the various stages of the production process. So I think that it will be a lesson for small countries to invest more in mathematics, in mathematical education, and also in research in mathematics, and this could have some impact in a few years in the economy of the country and in the rates of employment. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Manuel. With mathematics, as a mathematician, I think I know what I'm saying. How to evaluate mathematics? It's like how to evaluate freedom and independence. Many people in this audience have been under dictatorship regimes, and our President Lena Mary has told that you understand the value of freedom after you have lost it. So we can only understand value of mathematics after we have lost it. I hope it never, ever happens in the world. So we have now successfully reached the coffee break time. Using 10 minutes of coffee break means that as a moderator, I take the liberty to shorten the discussion session by 10 minutes. So we shall reconvene at 12:20 sharp. Thank you very much for your presentations, and give a